Now live.
We are live. All right. Welcome, Douglas County. My name is Kelly Robinson, and this is the April 18, 2023 Transportation Committee of the Douglas County of Georgia Board of Commissioners. We're going to go ahead and get started. We got a pretty full agenda. We're going to go around the room as is our custom to establish that we have a quorum. We'll do a verbal roll call. You have to say your name, obviously, so it can be codified for the record. I by itself is not significant enough for us to capture. So I'll start with myself. Kelly Robinson, Chair of the Committee, President.
Suleiman Rana, present.
Ron Roberts, present.
Keith Cowart, present.
Eric Wright, present.
Got those four. Look for my voting members. So we're missing 3 members, but we got the 4 out of 7, so we still can conduct the business of this committee. So we're going to head and keep going as established. We do have some supporting members that probably will be here. Is Mr. David Good there? You out there?
Yes, Commissioner.
All right. Director Ron, is there any other supporting members that are non-voting that are here in the room that we need to be aware of that I don't want to dishonor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vice Chair. I wanted to, well, the first agenda item is to introduce the new Deputy Director, but we also have Rachel Hatcher, Daniel Cherry Hoover, and Steve Cope from RS&H.
Okay. All right. Director Rana, you want to say something?
Yes, sir. I was going to hand it off to Director Roberts for that introduction, but we also have Michael Hightower with us from the collaborative firm.
All right, just want to make sure I'm clear. All right, got it. Got to lay the land. I'm clear. All right, Director, we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we have to do as far as before we get to the business items, talk about to accept the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Can you get a motion for that for the record so we can adopt those, please?
Yes, sir. I make a motion that the committee approves meeting minutes from the March 21st, 2023 Transportation Committee meeting.
Second.
All right, got a motion and we got a second. Any discussion for adoption? Again, since this is a virtual meeting, we have to go around the room by saying our names to accept, to qualify whether you accept or deny. Kelly Robinson, I vote yes.
Suleiman Rana, yes.
Ron Roberts, yes.
Keith Cowart, yes.
All right, that's 4-0, unanimous of the voting members that are present. Guys, keep me posted if somebody else pops in so we can just make sure we exceed them. But meeting minutes are carried. All right, Director Rana, keep us going. What's the first item you'd like to do?
The first item is transit updates, and I'll hand it over to Director Roberts for that.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you, committee members. It's a great pleasure today to introduce Eric Wright. He's in his second day here at Douglas County. And I just wanted him to introduce himself and tell a little bit about his background and where he's from. We are very excited to have him on board because of his experience in operations. And without further ado, I'll just let him do his introduction, Vice Chair.
That'll be fine. Let him come on forward.
Greetings all. My name is Eric Wright. I'm originally from Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, U.S. Army veteran. I spent 23 years of transportation with MARTA. Started as a bus operator, retired as a general superintendent. Worked a year in Danville, Virginia as the director of transportation. Then made my way back to Georgia. Been working with Georgia Tech as assistant general manager for about a year. And I'm super excited to be a part of Douglas County and to be in the role of deputy director to undergird our director here and move forward with all the plans of transportation here in Douglas County. I am super excited. I'm married, I have 6 kids, and I have 9 grandchildren. And I'm just super excited to be a part of this team.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome. You say he's a deputy director now? Did I hear that correctly?
That's correct.
All right, Deputy Director Wright, welcome to Douglas County. I welcome you, and I look forward to your contributions to this committee and to the county at large. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, let's keep going.
And the next item is also under transit updates, Commissioner Robinson, and that includes updates from Daniel Cherry Hoover from the collaborative firm, and also from Rachel Hatcher and Steve on the TMP. I don't know which one of these young ladies wants to go first, but I'll just pitch it to Danielle real quick.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I will be very brief and then hands it over to the wonderful folks over at RSNH.
Do you need to share the screen, Danielle?
I do. Thank you. I was just trying to do so. I appreciate it.
You should be able to do it now.
Okay. You all see successfully?
Yes, it's up.
Great. Thank you. My apologies if there is a slight delay on my end. Okay, so doing a really brief overview from the last time we met, ridership summaries. So we were charged to give some updates. For ridership, we actually had a meeting with a third-party operator just prior to this. So here are some updates. Wonderful to report there are 14 consecutive months of growth. Those 14 months start with February of 2022 date. So we're trending over a year of growth thus far coming out of the pandemic. Lets us know that folks are riding and riding more consistently and in higher numbers. Within marketing, we do trend over the previous year. So that's where you see the next bullet point, 37% of ridership increase by month. And so you'll see these updates each month as part of one area of our KPIs or key performance indicators. So that 37% is ridership increase from March of 22 versus March of 23. Also, a point of increase we're happy to announce is that ridership increase not only by month, but by quarter. So for Q1 of 2022 versus Q1 of 2023, meaning January to March, a 49% increase. And you'll see that reflected here. And the green, that is all of 2022. So again, we're going to comp month by month and over 22 versus 23. So we have at least an accurate account of apples to apples. One other KPI that we're diving into, even within more detail each month, working with the Douglas County IS folks. So we had the privilege, and I just wanted to thank them. This is a KPI that is we're diving deeper into this year. For 2023, we have the opportunity to track incoming calls. So when someone calls Connect Douglas at 770-949-7665, the opportunity to track incoming calls is for option 3 and option 4, and that's for the IS team of Douglas County. You can they have the capabilities of tracking Douglas County extensions. So those are 2 Douglas County extensions. It goes directly to our mobility coordinator, who does an amazing job with, for example, ADA paratransit and the voucher programs. So for March, 295 calls went directly for mobility. And then our customer service line, this is an opportunity to dive deeper into that as well. So 158 calls came in when someone dialed in for option 4 directly, which is the wonderful staff at the front desk. So in general, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are options when someone calls into Connect Douglas. 1, Flexer ADA, and 2, transit, excuse me, let me back up. So to confirm, Flexer ADA, the Flex route is scheduling 1 mile, that first mile, last mile, like within the bus stop along the routes 10, 20, 30, and 40. Someone can call in to schedule a flex route. So that's the one, and as well as ADA. Option 2 goes to Transitions Commute Solutions, and they are the bus operating operators. So those two are external, so they currently can't be tracked, but we're looking at ways to at least track those manually so we have some KPIs to start. Very briefly, with ongoing support, branding, and marketing, we are underway with that ADA paratransit. Got some proofs this morning. What you see here is an example of what will be on the vehicles for paratransit. So it's another opportunity to brand Connect Douglas Transportation. So the ADA paratransit providers, which are third-party operators, will have that CARMED. So that way, those who are utilizing the service know they are vetted and approved under the ADA paratransit program. The fixed bus route signage, Director Roberts' staff, including Sharma in particular, did a great job of color coordinating routes. So that was something that was initiated and commented on by ongoing outreach. So that is something that has been quote unquote checkmarked to be completed. The citizens asked for that, and it's come to fruition. So more about that in the next upcoming meetings, but there will be photos, social media, etc., just to kind of re-announce an opportunity to have ease of use for the current system. We have some wonderful promo items in the marketplace. We basically geared up for all of the wonderful outreach that we're going to do this year. We've done over 20 plus in 2022. And of course, with the onset of the TMP, we're ready to go as far as outreach is concerned, outreach initiatives are concerned. For example, t-shirts, bags, swag items, and then of course, print ads. I definitely don't want to steal the TMP thunder on this one, but in the most recent Chapel Hill News and Views, their May issue is hot out on the presses, and you would see Connect Douglas branded ad to include the TMP and survey, etc. So that is in the most recent ad, and of course, social media posts. And this is just in regards to ongoing support. April 1st, Connect Douglas had one of the bus vehicles at the Tetra Truck on April 1st in partnership with the Douglasville PD department. We'll also have a presence at the April 19th, tomorrow, tomorrow's State of the County event that you see there in the middle. So we're happy to support that as we did last year. And then every coming class for Douglas County Citizens Academy, as well as the Douglas County Youth Commission, we have the wonderful opportunity to present to those great folks who are volunteering their time, and that is April 25th. So for initiatives and events just within the month of April. With that, I say thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Are there, before I yield, is there any questions from any of the committee members? All right, so I had just one. So I appreciate you tracking, especially with the phone component. I heard 3 and 4 paratransit, got it. 1 and 2, we're going to look into how do we capture those as well, directly into our third-party operator. That's important, so I need that for the record. Right, so calls that are being made outside of our system into the third-party operator buses, we don't have any visibility. All right, so I'm going back to, we have a service provider, and that's a direct link that we need to figure out how we're going to get there. So Director Roberts, you got that, make a note of that, and that's just something we need to figure out. Obviously calls are going into there. So obviously that information should be captured on the other side. So that information should be reported back to us. I mean, that should be as part of our service level agreement, somewhere about, okay, customer service. It's just not driving the bus around. There is a feedback mechanism. And we just need to enforce the very thing that we expect as far as what's in our contracts. Can you look into that for us, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna keep this going. Reporting, thank you. Ms. Daniel, Madam Danielle, you're doing great. Good information one more time, very solid. I love the trend lines now that being established year over year, quarter over quarter. Now we talking. Now we get much more insight, more crystal. It's great to have stories, but I'm all about data. You got to quantify things from time to time to make it be more richer. So I appreciate the effort that you guys are doing to make our transportation committee more relevant to the broader citizenry. That it just has that expectation that at this level, being the 8th most dense and 12th most populous county, they expect that out of us, and how we perform and how we report. So we appreciate that, you guys being responsible. All right, so if there's no comments, we're gonna keep it moving. Director Roberts, is there somebody else who's gonna come speak?
Absolutely. The fabulous Rachel Hatcher from RS&H is online to give us an update on the TMP.
Rachel, come on in. You got the floor. You're welcome as always. Come on.
Thank you all. I'm going to give you a verbal update today. And we are preparing a very robust update for you all in your next month's meeting, including existing conditions and some of the early results of the public and stakeholder involvement process. So today we're just going to give you a brief verbal update to prepare you for your next presentation. Some recent activities. We did launch, as described in your last meeting, the public engagement or public facing elements of the TMP over the last several weeks, including a project announcement that came out in March, laying the groundwork for the public survey that is now live and is the modest since the 1st of April. We had also launched, in collaboration with the Douglas County website, a project-specific TMP webpage where we can track information about who is visiting that site, as well as post information such as the survey and fact sheets. So we're generating a lot of activity and pushing people to that location to get information and engage with us. We also have a project-specific email address so that we can interact with the public and have them with another opportunity to provide us feedback without the framework or guardrails of a survey. If there's someone who has requests for additional information as well as just feedback for us, that's the way to get that. We have been posting on the social media pages and receiving feedback from the public in that way. So we are tracking comments, looking for opportunities for education as well as additional opportunities for input from the public. As Ms. Danielle did share with you in her presentation, we have a Chapel Hill News full page.
Rachel, I'm sorry. You're fading in and out on us. It's like I don't know what's happening, but you're fading. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'll try again. So let me turn my camera off. That might help. So we do have the Chapel Hill full page ad that will be going out in May. We'll be continuing our public and stakeholder engagement activities for the rest of the month of April as well as into the month of May. And you will start to see a lot of technical activities occurring in the next couple of weeks, including developing a technical subcommittee and the draft results of the existing conditions analysis, which is well underway. So in your next meeting, you'll start to see some of those technical analysis elements coming into play, and you'll start to see some of the key feedback that we're receiving from the public surveys, as well as those presence at pop-up meetings come to your attention. So our earliest results of the public survey that went live just under 2 weeks ago, in the first week, we had just under 50 responses. So we were really happy with that initial feedback and looking for ways to increase those numbers. And we are seeing that the largest majority of results are coming from Douglasville. So we do have a location question to help us understand where survey responses are coming from. So we'll continue to monitor that on a weekly basis and modify our outreach and advertisement efforts to make sure that we're getting a good broad cross-section of the community as well as getting a statistically valid response rate. So you all will start to see the results of that in your next meeting. We're very excited to present on that for you all, and we hope that you all will continue to push that out into the community and encourage folks to respond. So I thank our partners at the collaborative firm. They've been highly involved in every aspect of the public and stakeholder outreach efforts and have been leveraging those relationships that they've built through other activities. So we are very grateful for their input and their skill in helping us navigate how to get the best response rate from the public. So we'll continue to keep you abreast of the results.
No, thank you for that. So let me make sure. So I get the technical analysis is coming next month. Frame that for me again. So technical analysis, what does that mean? Without getting into the details of what it means, the actual results, but what can we expect in that milestone checkpoint?
Yes, sir. So we begin with the existing conditions analysis, where we're evaluating the underlying population and employment data to see where you have transit supportive densities and perceived need in the community, as well as the performance of the transit system itself. So looking at not just ridership, but also your cost benefit and where you have opportunities for improvement in the system itself. So that helps lay the groundwork for developing recommendations for improvement in the future. So that existing conditions is that first step in identifying where you have opportunity, as well as where you see things really going smoothly. So we'll be able to provide that snapshot to you all to say, here's where we see the greatest opportunity for improvement, and here's where we see some really successful elements of the service currently.
And all right, thank you for that. And just so, and I'm not leaning this, but there's the fixed route, flex route, sort of the paratransit. Will that be spoken to? Will it be separated? Will there be a distinguishing difference between need analysis, etc.? With those?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So we do take each of the transit dependent population characteristics and categories and separate them. So we look for kind of the global transit propensity factors in the population. But then when we start to determine service modes, we look at each mode of service, whether that be fixed route, flex route, demand response, ADA paratransit, and we say which of these population profiles are most likely to utilize and need this type of service. So we pair those with the best fit for them. So we look at the existing population as well as the future population through each of those lenses and determine what the best fit would be for different cross sections of the community, not just geographically, but also by their needs.
No, not appreciate it. So this is just me, just from an oversight perspective. So I'm up here just looking down, and I'm looking at the county of Douglas County. And I heard you say that you've got some feedback, roughly about 50 people or so, which is obviously a small sample. Let's get a little bit bigger, but we get it. And that's what you start with. And primarily, that's out of Douglasville. So I'll go back to the commentary that sometimes we hear, but the data will prove it to about, which is, well, that's where the bus primarily began with and started with in downtown Douglasville. That's what the need, and that's where the response is. But my question is that are we putting forth effort to ensure that we're just not simply, which we already know is going to be a need, and there was other pockets, and this is where it gets proven out, and I want this for the record. This is, there was need in other parts of the county other than that downtown area. And hopefully our data, and I'm not saying you need to do anything beyond what you're doing, but the data will prove this out. Is one thing to declare it through political narrative. It's another statement, but where is the data that supports there needs to be adjustments in the system? And if so, did we actually get at it? Did we actually give voice to those who may be voiceless right now? So I'm putting more of a broader challenge to all y'all who are part of this data collecting, all these different facets of stuff. Like, all right, guys, now we need to make sure you should give them a chance to have the microphone, that their voices is not being dealt to them by default because perhaps we didn't reach them. Because we're primarily concentrating all of our efforts in how we're marketing and engaging and where it's easy to get access to. We've been through this a lot. So I just want for the record, make sure y'all are able to spread your nets as much as you can, at least try. That's all I can say. If they don't participate, they don't want to partake, got it. But I don't want to be that our consultants, our advisors, our providers at least try to get out there and make sure that we at least attempted. There's no more data census, but we can't make you participate, but then we put forth the effort. So that's important for us, at least, to make sure I want to have confidence in our efforts, that we didn't just drop it at the mall and think that was supposed to be the sample. We recognize they were talking about transportation. And so you got to take it to them. You can't expect them to come to where you are at the mall when that's the whole point. And if there's a greater need of transportation, then we need to make sure we get that covered. So thank you for hearing me out. Was there
Yes, sir. And I did want to respond to that and let you know that we will be hosting a series of pop-up meetings. We did decide not to utilize the model of having a static meeting location where we expect folks to come to us. Just to your point, we want to make sure we're going to every district in the county, making sure that we're utilizing events that are established where we know folks attend those as part of their activities or part of their community events. And then we will be doing targeted advertising. As an example of that is through social media, where you look for areas where you see a lack of response rate and you use their social media platforms to push those surveys towards them. So we'll be doing some outside of the box thinking on how to get to folks in the community to make sure we're getting those response rates equitable. And in addition to that, we'll be monitoring those results, those zip code results on a weekly basis, if not more frequently, to make sure where course correction is needed so that we get a statistically valid survey that reflects the full county. We're making those adjustments as a team. So you will see us out and about in the community through pop-ups, putting targeted advertisements at key locations like public libraries, and places where folks go for services to make sure that there's every opportunity for feedback. And if we're seeing a lack in certain areas, we'll push resources toward those areas to make sure that we get an equitable response rate.
Thank you for responding to that. I think you hear me.
Yes, sir, I do.
The quality of the report, the quality of your efforts is key here. So take your time, just do it right. Don't shotgun, don't compromise. The data will be the data, but this is what we really need. Our future is based, our future action will be based upon the intelligence you bring back. So take your time, all right?
Yes, sir, thank you.
All right, anybody else want to weigh in? Any committee members? All right, well, guys, we look forward to the real report out next month. So that's good. Good report. I followed everything you had to say. Thank you, Madam Rachel, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you next month.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Director Roberts, anything else before you go back to Director Rana?
That concludes the transit report, sir.
Excellent job. Thank you, Director Roberts. Director Rana, who's next up?
And next is Public Works, and for that we have Director Colbert.
Hello.
Director Cowell, come
Greetings.
on. You're up now, sir. Come on.
I am up. All right. So I got some updates for you. The mowing and litter pickup is started. It started back on the 3rd. We've gone approximately 100 miles so far. That's been completed. The LMIG paving has been completed. I think I reported that last time, but they're still working on some punch list items, and they're trying to get those as soon as possible. We've got a guy out there monitoring and keeping up with exactly what status it is. So I can tell you if you're curious and where we stand. And then the Fire Station 5. So they have done the demo. They have completed all the grading, and then they got hit by rain. So last week. So right now we're in the rain delay. And I know it's beautiful outside right now, but the actual pour that it was scheduled for was a rain delay. So once you cancel that, then you have to go back into a holding pattern and order again. So right now we have it set for the 24th. That's this coming Monday, and hopefully Mother Nature working with us, then it'll be done and knocked out then. So pending any questions, that's all I have for you at this time.
No, that's good. Thank you for that. Well, recently it came up in a town hall, so I'm glad you brought that up regarding LMIG and finishing out. Let me make sure I get it right. We're finishing out the 2022 LMIG, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
All right. And do you know how many miles we did per commission district? Just roughly. And where are we still outstanding? Was it still in District 2, or where are we? Where is the?
Well, I know there's 3 main issues on the punch list right now that we're still working with. It's it was repaving a portion of Forest Trail due to it had a spreader problem with the machine, so it just didn't do a good job redoing that. And then some striping has to be completed. Kings Highway, there's some edges on the side of the road where it has to be redone. So they're breaking off due to the gate being too wide. It was actually putting it down too wide. So but as soon as those are done, it's finished. You know, all the actual paving's done. It's just these 3 patch areas, and it'll be knocked out. I would, you know, soon. I would say maybe by the end of the week, maybe by next week. But as soon as I find out for sure, then I will give you a call, let you know.
No, I thank you for that. So let me make sure. And this is something as far as you. So what I'm hearing you say, there's a quality control mechanism that you're exercising. So when I hear spreader, we you know, ain't not like getting pictures from the citizens saying, okay, look guys, that's what we're paying for these. The spreader is
Right.
accurate, you know, application of stuff. So what I'm hearing you say is that you're cleaning that up, right? I mean, not you personally, but you're ensuring that they go back and fix it, right? And bring it to the quality.
Yeah, we have quality control. We have a guy that's out there the whole time. He's watching, he's inspecting, and these are the issues that he brought up, and then had the meeting, you know, told him, pointed them out, and I said, yeah, you're right, and they're fixing them. And I believe the total mileage paved this out of 22 was 24, almost 25 miles. 24.78. So
about 6 miles each, give or take, per subdivision district. In District 2, and this is something because it was at my town hall, so I have to finish the question. There was 3 subdivisions that were identified as being focused on for being resurfaced. Did all 3 subdivisions get completed, and is the striping done? Meaning, are they finished?
I believe so. I will check on that as soon as we pull off, because I don't want to say yes and something be, to my knowledge, it's been completed, all 3, and but I will double check just to make sure.
All right, that's fine for that. Now that takes care of 2022. So let's talk about 2023, and you and Director Ronnie, y'all can go back for a frame for us. Where do we stand for 2023? Has the board actually weighed in on our list yet? Where do we stand on that process? I got 2022, got it. It's warming up, get it. So just transition to the future now. What are we doing this year, please?
Yes, sir. So for 2023, we got the board approved list, and it's currently being advertised. The bid closes, I believe, this week, and once that's done, we should be getting ready to finalizing our contractor on that. This year we did have limited funds, so the only source of funding was this LMIG from the state and the local match, a 30% match that we're committed to. As a result, we're only doing about 6 miles for the county, and that gives us about 1.5 roughly for each district.
So we went from 24 miles down to 6 miles. I mean, that's a quarter of what we did before. So I gotta say it for the record to set expectations. Did y'all hear that? All right, the SPLOST is important as a funding mechanism for us. Forget SPLOST versus T-SPLOST, but now right now we're just using normal state is what they're giving us as an annual allowance. And that's what they give us, their annual allowance. Now, if you want to do more in your county, then you raise your own taxes. You do that. Listen, this we're gonna give you guys. We only can do 6 miles for the entire county, and there's 773 center miles. And we got to split this between 4 commission districts, about a mile to a mile and a half. That's like a street per year. Now we can't. It will take you 100 years, bro. I guess 70 years. No, 700 years. I did that right. A mile per year. Look, it will take me 700 years to get through the county at that rate, at that type of application of money. Think about 700 center miles. We only do a mile per year per commission district. All right, we can split it up a little bit, but you guys get my point. Woo. And so we need to really be mindful of that. And that's why, I mean, again, that's just normal maintenance, not all the stuff that's getting worn down by friction and stuff. I mean, I understand that. But again, it's just the order of magnitude how, I mean, transportation has a healthy appetite. We've always known that. And it needs to be done. And we'll make sure we take care of that. But nonetheless, I just wanted to highlight that. So you said it'll come back before the board probably, what, next month at the latest? Is that what I'm saying?
The bid's on Friday. This Friday.
Bid closes this Friday? Or was it last Friday? Okay, this Friday. So, yeah, so potentially by next month, we'll have a contract ready for board approval.
And then we got to get them going. So that means we're into May. That's fine. And I won't say that we're necessarily behind. It's just where we are. But I mean, I guess it has to be 55 degrees anyway. But it's just like we're already in April, May-ish. Are we gonna run out of time by the end of the year before it gets cold again? How far will we get? But then again, it's only a mile, so it ain't like they got a lot to do. So I think they probably can knock this out in this cycle.
We'll be fine.
Duly noted. So I changed my position on that in the moment, and they should be able to knock this out in this cycle. All right. So any questions on this, guys? Anybody else as far as voting committees? Yes.
One alibi, sir. There is, I can confirm, yes, the three subdivisions have been completed.
They have been completed.
Yes.
Striped as well.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
We do have a hand up by Mr. Good.
Who's out there?
Mr. Good?
Yeah, sure. I was going to actually call upon him, but I'm glad he's got his hand up. That's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Good.
Yes, actually, Director Coward, he just answered it by saying that, yes, the subdivisions are completed, and yes, the striping has been done. So I was just going to respond to what he said, but he went ahead and responded to that.
No, I appreciate it. But those are spots that we supplemented to that point. We supplemented local, right? So that 24 miles, we supplemented with SPOS dollars. Is that accurate, David?
Yes, sir.
All right. But we have no SPOS dollars this year because we pulled all SPOS dollars from this year into last year. So right now, all we've got available to us is the normal annual allowance from the state, which is LMIG. Is that true, gentlemen?
Yes, for me, yes, sir. That's my understanding.
Director Ronald, is that true?
That is correct, sir.
Until again, and we won't, what we're talking about is the 2016 SPOS has also been stopped. That penny is now over. And so now any other future supplements would have to come from the 2022 SPOS. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right, we'll let that go for right now. I'll come back to that next month. We'll wait till you guys close out the SPOS and we'll pick up that conversation. So is Director Coward, is there anything else you want to add? I think I'm good for now. You good?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, then, Director Ronald, you've now got the floor back. What's next?
Thank you. I'll share my screen for the agenda. So the first item that I have is for Stewart Mill Road at Reynolds Road intersection. This is an intersection improvement project where we're widening the intersection to accommodate excessive turning movement. We're adding turn lanes with some sidewalks and other safety improvements. This project is currently in construction with anticipated completion by October of this year. We recently got approval on one of the change orders, but we have two more that were brought to our attention, and that's what we'll be discussing. The first one is change order number 2 with the Corbett Group in the amount of $68,112. This is due to a rock encounter during excavation. The contractor was deep down excavating to lay out the culvert and the drainage pipes, and that's when a 25 feet by 25 feet rock was encountered. In order for us to complete the drainage outlook per design, we will need to jackhammer that rock out and basically install the pipes as they were designed. And in an effort to do so, it would cost us an additional $68,000. And that is what this change order is for.
Okay. So, gosh, you said 25 foot times 25 foot?
Yes.
So I guess you guys are about 6 feet, so that's what, 4 of you guys, ladies, have I said? So that's pretty big, 25 by 25. So
yes, and it's about 340 cubic yards of rock that will have to be excavated out.
Got it. So we're going to jackhammer it. We don't have to blow it up but in essence, we get to jackhammer it out. How long will that take? What impact on the schedule does that do?
Currently, we are shooting to cover that within our base schedule. So with that, if we are able to move quickly on these change orders, the contractor with his crew on site will be able to cover it up as the project progresses. When this rock was encountered, we were strategically relocating the resources on ground, so there's no time wasted. And with that, we're hopeful that there's no excessive delays encountered because of this change order.
So you got some slack in your overall critical path, but yet at the same point, you think you can keep moving.
Yes, sir.
Even though this is unanticipated, still you've got enough downstream and your immediate capacity to be able to handle that. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what is the timing on, obviously the board did not meet tonight like we normally would have met. So you're talking about our next meeting, we'll come back on the 2nd and 3rd. Is that going to be sufficient?
Yes, sir. And that's what we're planning for.
All right. Sounds good. Is there any questions to this change order? All right. So you want to go ahead and make your motion to take action?
Yes, sir.
The full board, please.
Yes, I make a motion that the committee recommends a change order number 2 with the Corbett Group LLC in the amount of $68,112 for full board approval.
I will give the motion. Can I get a second, please?
I second Heath Cowart.
We got a second by Heath Cowart. We got the motion by Director Rana. Any discussion on this? All right, for the voting members, I'll go around and call the question. All in favor say yes. All in favor say no with your name. Kelly Robinson votes yes.
Suleiman Rana, yes.
Yes.
I heard Ron Roberts. Then who else?
Heath Cowart, yes.
So that's the 4 present members. Nobody else has been added since then. So it's unanimous passage of this this change order. All right, next item.
All right, next item is another change order for the same project. This comes as change order number 3 in the amount of $22,764. This is in result of correction in the design sheets as that was identified during construction. And as a result, there was an update to the reinforced steel bar quantities. That in total cost us about $22,764. The unit price of that steel would be about $4 per pound. And I recommend that we approve that because we're still getting the base price that was negotiated at the contract stage. And this change order is needed to move this project forward too.
Good. So like the prior one and this current one, as far as the budget impact, we can absorb this. Is that true?
Yes, sir. This loss allocation and the contract amount had a buffer to account for any change orders, and that's what we'll be utilizing.
So no impact to the current budgeted amount for the project. True.
That is correct.
All right, great. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and call a motion for this one, and we can discuss if necessary inside of it. So go ahead, Director Rogers.
I make a motion that the committee recommends change order number 3 with the Corbett Group LLC in the amount of $22,764 for full board approval.
That's
second.
We got the second. All right, any discussion on this item? This change order number 3, gentlemen. If none, again, go around the room once and call the question. Establish your name with your vote of yes or no. Kelly Robinson votes yes.
Suleiman Rana, yes.
Ron Roberts, yes.
Heath Cowart, yes.
All right. The 4 voting members that are present, it's unanimous vote 4-0. So this change order number 3 passes on to the full board of commissioners. All right, Director Ron, keep moving.
Thank you. The next item is Lee Road Phase 2 that is currently under construction. This too is a change order, but this is actually for our design team or engineer of record. We often reach out to them as per needed. During construction, there are many instances where request for information is requested by the contractor and unsuitable conditions are encountered, and that's when we reach out to our engineer on call or engineer of record. In this case, it is Michael Baker International. Our last supplemental agreement that was in place has expired, and we are seeking supplemental agreement number 8 in the amount of $59,744.89 to keep them active on this construction project.
So, all right, so thank you for that. So, which project was this for again?
Lee Road Phase 2, that is currently under construction.
Okay. So that's what I thought I heard say. So my question then becomes on this. Now, I appreciate the fact that you're aware we have this on-demand list of engineers, etc. So this is they're next on the list. Is that true? You just how did you pick them? Did you just pick them on down the list, or how did we get to? Were they next up?
No, so these Michael Baker was actually the original designer. The original designer firm was called LPI that designed this project early 2004 or 5, and Michael Baker then acquired this firm. So now they are our engineer of record, and they're the actual designers of this project. And that is why it's important that we keep the same one throughout the construction.
But this is just on demand, but since they're original designer, they acquired the firm, and so they just want continuity. I just want to make sure I heard that.
That is correct. This is not a new on-call contract. This is a supplemental agreement to the one that we already have, and they serve as our engineer of record. Michael Baker does.
And so this is going to be some additional work that's necessary at the tune of $55,000. Is that correct?
Yes, $59,744.
And this supplement now. So again, I got it. I got the firm and how they got here. Now again, for the worker, what will they be doing in this phase?
So they, since they act as the owner of the design documents, if during the design process the contractor does not understand any design aspect of the project, they put in an official RFI to us that we then forward to the engineer of record to clarify, make corrections, or additions or subtractions, whatever that may be. Basically, on record, provide their official recommendation on what design decisions must be taken to remedy any on-site issues, and that's what they'll be doing for the ongoing construction phase.
Actually, how far along are we at? Where do you think we are in this project?
We are, per the invoices, we are about 15 to 18% complete on this project. Our anticipated completion is by fall next year.
About a year, almost a half, not quite, but for the sake of the conversation, a year and a half, we'll be done.
Yes, sir.
The entire widening, swept and everything, striped and everything, sidewalks, lights on, the whole project, not just the transportation part, the whole project. Is that true?
That is correct.
Right. Let's make a note of that, everybody. So I got it. So the firm is on board. When did they take over this firm that they became of record? Since you said this is their 8th supplement, did you say 8?
8, yes.
I thought so.
I'm not exactly sure when they acquired LPI, but I believe it was at least more than a decade ago. So that we've been dealing with Michael Baker International for a long time now.
I got you. And this is a supplement. This is their 8th supplement to this project alone?
Yes, sir.
So this is like the 8th request for information. Is that what I'm hearing by way of supplement? So it's like a one-off, a one-time. They charge us $55,000 or $59,000 for whatever that body work is, and it goes away. So they're not just on standby during a season of time in which it could be many things that they could be clarifying. Clarify what I'm listening to. You see where I'm going?
Yes.
Yes, I ask, or is it they're on standby and anything that comes through, they cover it for that amount of money?
Right. So they bill us for the cost. So this contract is cost plus fixed fee. Now, with every request, they'll bill us for the services provided or the hours put into the request. And if the first request is only 2 hours, that leaves us with about 99% of the budget left. So this amount that we put together is just a rough extrapolation of what the previous agreements have been. And we believe this now would lead us to the end. But what happens is sometimes, some big things come in the middle and they consume a big chunk of these agreements, and that is why we have to come back and get another supplemental agreement put in place.
So this is just a limit to that amount. This is sort of the budgeted amount. We have it within the budget. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. This comes out of our initial allocation for the project.
All right. So there's no direct impact, and this is not an invoice yet. This is just basically you're establishing a purchase order or some type of, and you'll draw against this, right? You'll draw down on this?
Right.
Invoice the work already done?
No, the work is not already done because this is a cost plus fixed fee. We've been using the last supplemental agreement or the amount associated with that up till now. This is for the work that's going to happen in the future. And then again, we may not use this whole amount, or it may get used up depending on how many requests we get from the contractor or the construction team.
So are we paying them this up front?
No, sir.
Committing to?
This is what we just document for now, and we get a PO established, and then we pay them per invoices or per their services are incurred over time, and then depending on how much use we have, we'll pay them accordingly.
Yep, I get it. All right, I think I'm very clear on this. Thank you for letting me sort of probe that a little bit, make sure I understood what I was listening to. All right, so go ahead and let's go ahead and get this in motion, and then we can discuss it inside of it. Director Ron, call your motion.
Yes. I make a motion that this committee recommends supplemental agreement number 8 with Michael Baker International in the amount of $59,744.89 for full board approval.
We got a motion. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All right, Director Roberts, I heard you. We have a second. Any discussion from the existing voting members? All right, if none, we're going to go ahead and keep this moving. I'll call the question. Again, give your name affirmatively or negatively if in fact you're against this, but you have to state your name. Kelly Robinson, I vote yes.
Suleiman Rana, yes.
Ron Roberts, yes.
Keith Cowart, yes.
All right. The 4 existing voting members, we have a unanimous passage of this supplemental agreement with Michael Baker, 4-0. All right, let's keep moving. Anything else, Director Robert?
That was the last thing, and that's all I had for you, sir.
For today's agenda?
Yes.
That's it? Guys, I'm not going to make this hard. I do want to, again, we are going to be talking about offshoots closing out the 2016 SPLOS at our next board commissioner meeting. Mr. Good will be involved working with finance to ensure that we got a good look of reconciling, guys, what we've done. Obviously transportation is a key part of that, but we'll also be teeing up the future for the 2022 SPLOS. So stay tuned. He's going to reach back to you guys. I mean, obviously that's going to be a pretty solid presentation because it's got to cover all 6 years, not just this current cycle. So I appreciate your contributions respectfully to help polish that up. And with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead, guys. If there's nothing else need to come for this, if there's no other member on there and Madam Vice Chair is not there, if she's not, we're going to go ahead and allow this meeting to be called adjourned for the April 18, 2023 Douglas County Board of Commissioners Transportation Committee. Thanks, guys.